Hey y'all, it's Ayanna. Welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on all my socials. I listed them in the description box below at _ringbells on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Y'all, we are in a new setting. I know I decided to take a little weekend staycation, little trip or whatever, because it's summertime. And I would have had the girls trip part 2 story up before, but y'all, today's what, Sunday? I was supposed to get my hair done, y'all, yesterday at 10 a.m., right? The girl that was originally supposed to do my hair canceled on me an hour beforehand. So I spent like a good portion of my day yesterday running around trying to find somebody to do my hair last minute and fighting tooth and nail with her to get my deposit back, because I don't know why y'all be playing like that. I might actually do a story time about it on my TikTok, because why not? But yeah, y'all, shout out to Simone. She came through. She was able to get me in last minute on a busy Saturday. So I'm going to put her Instagram in the description box below, so y'all could go check out her work, because y'all, she did a good job. So thank you, Simone. Now, y'all, without further ado, as you can tell by the title, this is a story time about the time. And y'all know I don't be knowing what I'm going to name these yet, but I was embarrassed like the whole weekend by this nigga that I was dealing with in school. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, y'all, so y'all know, gotta set the scene, gotta give y'all the background, right? So this story takes place, y'all remember when I said in the she was playing both sides story time with Tina and Star and Kelly and Blondie? Yeah, so during that time, remember I told y'all I took the fall semester off of my sophomore year, and then I came back the spring semester. So during the fall semester, I had followed this boy on Instagram. We're gonna name him Blue. Yeah, we're gonna name him Blue. So we I think I slid in his DMs, y'all, if I'm not mistaken either. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. Yeah, I slid in his DMs, okay. We start talking. Some time go by, because it was like 3-4 months. And then remember I told y'all I would still go to back to school and visit, stay with Blondie, see Star, whatever, during that semester. And I would just party with them. Me and Kelly would go out there. We would just be partying. So during this time, I was going out there. I was seeing him, staying at his room, going to parties with him, going out to eat. So it was like a little thing. Not every weekend, but pretty often. So we get to know each other, everything. And then I tell him, I'm coming back to school in the spring. So he's like, okay, cool. Don't start acting different, when you get back around your friends and, da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, okay, whatever. Cool. So fast forward, y'all, I get back on campus. Everything was fine. Remember I told y'all I had to kick back for my birthday? So he was there, and that's why I told y'all I wasn't worried about Michael, who Tina thought that I was pressed over. Yeah, because I already had a little situation going on. So yeah, we get back on campus. Well, I get back on campus. Everything is fine. We vibing, we talking, It's a little nice. But one thing, y'all, that I noticed about Blue was that he low-key had a drinking problem. He low-key really did have a drinking problem. Y'all know how some people be like happy when they're drunk. Some people get emotional. Some people are just friendly and want to talk to the whole world. Like, I'm pretty much, it depends on who I'm around and the situation that I'm in. Shit, sometimes I could be home by myself and then all I want to listen to is Summer Walker and just vibe. And then sometimes you want to be out with your friends getting lit. So I don't know, but angry, I'm not going to bump into somebody and want to fight them. Like, that's just not the type of person I am. He was like that. Yeah. So yeah, I noticed that he had like some type of a drinking problem or whatever, but like I said, it wasn't ever too much. I noticed that like maybe sometimes he would snap at me, but it was never nothing like that was too crazy, right? So fast forward to this particular weekend. It was like a Friday night, and I was hanging out with Kelly and Blondie at my apartment, right? Blue calls me and he's like, oh, I'm just leaving this. I guess he went to like a bar or whatever with his friends. And y'all, it was early. It was like maybe 9 o'clock, and I was planning on going out with my friends that night to go to like some party off campus. And he was like, oh, come over. I want you to come over. And I'm like, well, I can come over, if you want me to for a little bit, but I gotta come back and change because I'm going to a party. So he was like, okay, well, I'll be there in like the next 30 minutes. So I just decided like, all right, well, I'm gonna get ready now. So that way, once I get there and make sure he's cool, I'm leaving to go to the party with my friends. We was linking up with Star. Like, we was just gonna go out. We had plans. So I tell Blondie, I tell Kelly, and I'm like, all right, y'all, I'm gonna see y'all later because I'm gonna go link up with Blue and then go back to, you know, his apartment, make sure he's straight, and then I'll link back up with y'all. So they was like, okay, bet. They still had to go back to their apartments. Remember I told y'all we all lived in townhouses together. So they go back to their apartments and I start making my way to get ready, change, whatever for the party. I leave out, I start making my way across campus. That was like maybe a 10-minute walk or so because he lived in like a high rise. Remember I told y'all when I had first saw Kelly, she was sitting out front of the 7-Eleven. So here's the 7-Eleven and his building was like right around the corner right there. So I start making my way across campus, you know, making my way downtown, making my way over there, and he is not answering the phone. I'm calling him, he's not answering the phone. I'm like, well, what the hell? Like, where's you at? Like, I told you I got something to do. And I wasn't trying to rush y'all because it's probably at this point, it was like maybe 9, 10, but we usually go out at 11. I still needed to link back up with them so we could pregame before we went to the party. If you know, you know. So, I'm calling him, not answering the phone. When he finally answers the phone after like the 5th time, he's like, what? I'm on my way. So I'm like, okay, I should have just left. But I'm like, you know, I ain't going to do that. Y'all know how it be. So finally sees him stumbling up. Just drunk, y'all. Just being dumb. Like, just doing too much. So makes his way up and he's like, you good? Like, come on. So I'm like, all right. But his body weight was too much. Y'all know, like, you ever carried and tried to help a drunk person? It's just like dead weight. Like, they're helping you, but they're not helping you. And I'm just like, why your friends didn't walk you back to your room? Like, why is this? I don't know. I don't want to sound like a you know what, but come on, right? Shouldn't your friends help you? So I'm making my way into the building and Kelly's calling me. So she's like, what's up? Are you linking up? And I think we was linking up at, actually they were all coming back to my house. Star was meeting us there and I forget who else. What's the girl? Clingy. Last story time. Clingy was in this situation too. Well, sort of, kind of. Yeah, sort of, kind of. So she I was meeting up with them, so I'm telling her, I'm like, yeah, I'm linking up with y'all, we gonna meet back at my house. I'm trying to help Blue get into their apartment. I was like, I actually low-key might need y'all help. So she was like, what you mean? I was like, he's just doing too much, like, I don't got time. So they're like, okay. So she tells Blondie, so them two start making their way, walking from where I was all the way to his apartment. So I get him, you know, inside or whatever and get him like into the apartment. Y'all, and then I'm skipping a part. When we get inside to the elevator, he had a type of elevator that you had to like scan. And I'm sorry if y'all could hear somebody crying in the background. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm at a hotel. Anyway, hopefully it wasn't too loud. So anyway, he needs a badge to scan his way in. So I'm like, where's your badge at? He's like, I'm getting it. And I used to, like I said, embarrassing stuff like that when you have partners that yell at you or, you know, just do a little too much in public. Like, it's not that deep. It's a quiet lobby. You got the concierge, the front desk guy standing there looking up like, okay. So we finally get on the elevator. We make our way upstairs and we're walking down the hallway. And he was like maybe halfway down the hallway to his apartment. Go inside, walk him to his room. He's like, come on, I want you to stay. You might as well just stay with me. I'm like, I really don't want to stay. Like, you see, I'm dressed. I'm about to go out. He's like, you always want to go out with your friends. At this point, you know, I'm in there for a little bit trying to go in the kitchen, get him water. My friends knew, like, where his apartment was. I don't think they knew exactly what apartment, but they knew, like, what floor or whatever. So I tell them, they come to the door. I let them in. He's like, oh, who is that? I'm like, oh, it's Blondie and it's Kelly. And y'all, I'm getting a little cold in here. The temperature was on like 68 degrees. So I'm like, oh, it's Blondie and it's Kelly. And he's like, oh, okay, well, let me go talk to them. And I'm like, and y'all, I was like, look, I ain't gonna hold y'all. I was trying to put him to bed like a baby. Like, just go to bed. See you later. Mommy loves you. And be out the door because you doing too much. He gets out the bed, stumbling over to them, talking to them, like, oh, yeah, da-da-da-da. So I'm in his room, you know, getting the water situated, getting the, the garbage can situated, putting a movie on, y'all. Putting a movie on, doing all of this for him. So I go out there. At this point, now, Star's hitting me up, and she's like, where's you at? And I'm like, girl, I'm dealing with a situation with Blue. I'm on my way. We're going to make our way back to campus or whatever. Well, not to campus, to my apartment. And she's like, okay, bet. She was like, let me know when I can start walking because she lived 10 minutes in the opposite direction all the way across campus this way. So she's like, yeah, just let me know. So I'm like, okay, cool. Y'all, I'm telling her, I'm like, okay, like, you good? I come back out of his room to meet them at the front door because they're like in the living room where the little dining room table kitchen area is right there. So I'm like, okay, y'all ready to go? And he's like, turns around. He was like, don't you see we talking? Yo, what? He's like, don't you see we talking? And what's her face? Kelly was like, you know, we don't gotta do all of that. Like, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. And he was like, don't you see we talking? I was like, I don't know who you're talking to, but I'm about to leave. Like, I told you I was going out. I set all your stuff up, so I'm gonna see you later. Like, I have Star waiting for me back at the crib, so I gotta go. He was like, oh, you're not leaving. Who not leaving? He was like, you're not leaving. So at this point, he's now trying to push them out of the door. Trying to push them out of the door, y'all. And has me, like, behind the door. Like, trying to grab me behind the door. So can y'all picture, like, pushing them out the door? The door's right here. He's trying to push them out, but he's holding me behind the door. Like, and I'm like, are you crazy? Like, get off of me. Like, I'm leaving. Like, I told you I had something to do. I was like, you should be straight. Like, if anything, I'll come pull up, you know, later on tonight. If you're not asleep or whatever, if you're not knocked out. If you want, I'll take your key and then I'll come in later. Oh, no, I'm not doing all of that. You could just stay. No, I'm not staying. I'm not doing all of that. So he's like, okay, well, they gotta go. Like, come on, y'all could go. So they're like, we're not leaving without her. She doesn't want to leave. So, I mean, she doesn't want to stay. So she's coming with us. So trying to push him out the door, right? I'm like, you're doing too much. So Kelly comes back in and she was like, come on, like, what's wrong? Like, what's going on? Y'all, I eased my way from out that door and I walked out the hallway. Blondie's with me. We're walking down the hallway. And y'all, Blondie used to just be scary acting sometimes. Like, I don't know. Like, she should just do too much. Like, she should just be scary acting. Yeah. So we walking down the hallway, like I said, making our way to the elevator. I'm not thinking nothing of it, right? Making our way to the elevator. Kelly then comes out. She's making her way to the elevator. We get on the elevator. As me and Blondie are on the elevator, we're holding the door for Kelly because we can hear her coming down the hallway. As she's like, we can see her approaching. All you hear is... I'm like, what the hell? Y'all, why this nigga was running down the hallway to catch the elevator? So we get on the elevator and I'm like, Kelly's not running. Like, she just turns around, she walks on. By the time the door is like about to close, y'all, kid you not, I kid y'all not. Blue dove, Michael Phelps, diver, dove into the elevator like it was a pool. Onto the elevator floor. We get out the way. All you hear is, ah, my arm. Help! My leg! Yeah. He was like, ah, my arm. And I'm just so irked at this point, y'all. I didn't even feel bad. I looked down at him and I was like, and I stepped over him, walked out, and took the damn stairs. He only lived on like the 4th damn floor. I took the stairs and Blondie and Kelly, I guess, stayed in the elevator with him and was just looking. I left because you doing too much. Too much. That drunk shit, that's why you should just stay your ass in that apartment in that bed. You're doing way too much. So I took the stairs. I'm down in front of the building. I don't call Star back. And she's like, what is going on? So I'm telling her, I'm like, girl, this nigga done dove into the elevator. And I was like, I don't know. Kelly and Blondie still upstairs with him. So I guess I don't know. So the next thing you know, she was like, girl, what? I was like, I'm going to tell you about it when I get back to the crib. So she's like, okay, cool. I call Kelly. I'm like, what you doing? She's like, we on our way down now. Like, we just walked him back to the room. Like, he was upset and everything. So we just walked him back to the room and, you know, he was fine. And we coming down now. I'm like, okay. They come downstairs. We walk all the way back. So they're like, what is wrong with him? Da-da-da. I'm like, y'all, I don't know. I was like, he talking about something, oh, you just stay with me. And I'm telling them everything that was happening. And they're like, but didn't you tell him you was going out? Like, you didn't even have plans. I said, exactly. We didn't even have plans tonight because I had already told him I was going to be doing stuff. Usually it's like, y'all, the weekends, if I was with him, it would be maybe sometimes during the day. And then I usually would go out with my friends at night and then pull up on him on the late night because he would be out with his friends partying too. Y'all know how it go. So why are you acting? And I get what y'all saying. Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with wanting to lay up. But you got to go out and have fun. And now you lit and now you feel like your night is over. So now my night got to be over at 9 o'clock. No, I'm going outside. Like, come on. So I can make it back to the apartment. I link up with Star and Clingy. And now I'm with them too. So I'm telling them, you know, we vibing, we pre-gaming, we taking shots or whatever. So next thing you know, Star was like, oh, y'all want to go to a party tomorrow? So we like, oh, where? Whole time, yeah, y'all, it was Michael's party. And Star was talking to his roommate at the time. He don't really need, do he need a name? He don't need no name because that's too many names. I don't got time. So he don't need no name. But him and Michael and his roommate, Star was talking to the roommate, and she was talking to the roommate after I had pretty much kind of stopped talking to Michael. Like, me and Michael was cool. Like, we would vibe and stuff, but it never gave that, like, around this time. So she was like, oh yeah, they having a party, you know, the roommate just told me about it. And y'all remember, did I tell y'all that in the last story time? I'm not sure if I told y'all that where Michael's apartment was, it was like as soon as you came out like my front door and you turned your head, you saw his front door. So we literally didn't have to go nowhere to get to the party. So that was going to be on Saturday night. So we're planning this. So I'm like, yeah, we out, da 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 da. But I was like, you know, I'm not sure how Blue is going to be because and y'all, I know y'all probably like, well, damn, you ain't check on him nothing. No, because you're trying to ruin my fun. Like, y'all, if I had other story times, I would tell y'all as we go along. But he used to do little weird stuff like that all the time to like try to sabotage me from going out. So I really just didn't care at this point. Like, I just didn't care. So I was like, you know, it depends on how, not really depends on how Blue come in, but Blue knew about Michael. You get what I'm saying? So, like, he knew, like, oh, when we was getting to know each other during the fall semester, like, oh, you dealt with anybody? I'm like, yeah, you know, I had a little situation back, you know, last year, but, you know, it's not like that now. Like, I see him, you know, we cool. And he was just like, okay. But he was a little bit of a jealous person, so he knew of him. He knew about him, so keep that in mind. So she was like, you want to go to the party? And I'm like, yeah, like, I'm down. So we all make our plans. Boom. We go out that night. We have a good time. Like I said, we went to some off-campus frat party or whatever, had a good time, make our way back, everybody go to their respective places. Star spends the night at my crib because, like I told y'all, Shorty lived there. And, you know, boom, next day. So next morning, I wake up to like 7, 8 calls, and y'all know, you get in, you lit, you waking up half dead. So he called me like 8 times. So I'm like, call him back. I'm like, what's up? He was like, I had to go home and I sprained, did he sprain it? It was bad enough that he had to get like a cast put on. I don't want to say broke his arm, y'all, but fractured it. I don't know. It was like in a cast though. So he's sending me the pictures and he was like, yeah, I'm not drinking no more this weekend. I'm gonna just chill this weekend. Like, do you want to just lay up and chill with me? And I'm like, I'm going out tonight. Like, afterwards, yeah, I'll come over, but I'm going out with my friends. And he used to say that all the time, like, you always want to be with your friends. Like, you always want to be with your friends. Like, he used to be like, oh, you would play me out for them. And it's like, y'all, it's college. I'm sorry, if you spend your entire college experience just being under somebody, you're never going to experience what you like, what you don't like, and having fun in different settings. Like, pro tip. So yeah, he used to say that all the time. So I'm just like, no, like, I'm going on my friends, I'll pull up after. So he was just like, okay, like, that's fine, but I'm not drinking no more. Like, I'm sorry. And I was just like, okay, you know, you straight, like, it's cool. Boom. He was like, you gonna pull up, you know, beforehand. And I forgot what I had to do that day. I think I had to go with Star back to her house because I think she was getting some money from her dad. Because, y'all, me and Star, like, if she hit up her dad for the food, like, food money for us to eat, I'll be hitting up my dad. Because y'all know we was broke college kids, y'all. We still needed to have money to buy a whole bunch of other stuff. We still needed clothes, food, makeup, you know, liquor, whatever we needed. So I would hit my dad up for a couple dollars for certain stuff, and they would be sponsoring our weekend. So I think we needed to go back to physically get the bread from her dad. So, and then, like I said, we would go out to the liquor store by her house so we could get our bottles and stuff because we weren't 21 yet. So boom, I was like, yeah, no, I got something to do. So he was just like, okay, cool. Well, I might go out tonight. And I'm like, I thought you just said you was going in. He was like, yeah, I am going to stay in, but I might go out. My friends was talking about going to a party in Philly. So I was like, bet. So if he goes to the party in Philly, then I really don't gotta worry about, you know, you hearing about this party on campus, because if he finds out that it's Michael's party, it was just gonna be too much. So I was like, okay, bet, like, perfect. I was like, okay. So at that point, y'all, I didn't even care if he was going out. I'm like, okay, you know, let me know what you decide to do. And he was like, okay, cool. Boom, I explained everything to Star. You know, we get our day started. We link up with Blondie, Kelly. We make our way to back to Star's crib. Pull up, we get her bread, we get our bottles or whatever. We get back, y'all know, start talking about what we gonna wear, planning. So I'm telling them everything. I'm like, yeah, y'all know, this nigga had to get his arm wrapped up, talking about he not drinking. So they laughing and they telling, what's her face? They telling Star everything that was going on, how they had to help him back to the room, all of this. And then at this time, y'all, like I said, Clingy. Y'all remember Clingy from the previous story time? Clingy boyfriend was coming to visit that weekend. So was it her birthday weekend? I don't think it was her birthday weekend. I think it was just like a regular weekend. No, it wasn't. It was a regular weekend for him to come visit. So everybody was gonna link up because, like I said, y'all, my house was not the party house, but it kind of was. So like my roommates, everybody, all our friends would come there. We would just all be playing cards, drinking, playing games, smoking, whatever. And her boyfriend was coming that weekend. So she was like, I guess, at her apartment getting stuff set up with him, making sure they was good. But we all had the decided, thought that we're all going to meet up at my crib, probably like 11, 12. And then we were all kind of just going to walk over to the party. So it was like, okay, cool. So fast forward. The night comes and, I'm checking in with him and I'm like, okay, what you plan on doing? He was like, yeah, I'm getting dressed now. I'm about to see, what's going on. So I'm like, okay, cool. This is like an hour before we're about to leave out, y'all. Keep that in mind, an hour before we're about to leave out. I go downstairs, we having a time. We drinking, we pre-gaming. We just saying we gonna have fun. Now, during this time, y'all, while we pre-gaming and stuff, Star shows me her phone. The phone is a message from Michael's roommate saying, do you and Ayanna want to stay after the party and we could just, vibe, smoke, watch movies. Now, y'all, I'm going to be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be a little honest. I wasn't dealing with Michael like that. Like, we wasn't doing anything physical, but we were cool and it was easier to vibe with him because both of our friends talked to each other and we had already had previous dealings, but we wasn't fraternizing like that. So I would go over there. We would play cards with them over there. Sometimes they would come to my apartment if nobody else was around because I just wasn't trying to be too messy. So if my roommates had left for the weekend and stuff and it was just like me and my friends kind of there, then they would come over and vibe with us, or we would go over there and their roommates pretty much was never there. So we would like be watching football games. We watched the Super Bowl over there. Like, we would just have time, like spend time over there. So he had asked Star, like, do you and Ayanna want to stay over after the party? And then, we could watch a movie, smoke, drink, whatever, and just vibe. So we was like, yeah, okay. Because y'all know I live right there. So she showed me and I was like, I'm laughing and she giving me the eye. She was like, you want to, And I was like, Blue gonna be in Philly. Yep, let's do it. So she was like, okay. She tells him. So that's the plan. So y'all, boom, boom, boom. We having a good time. Our plans are set. We about to leave out to the to go to the party. Y'all, I look at my phone. I look at my phone and I go on Snapchat. And I had Blue on Snapchat. I'm clicking through his story. Y'all, why is this man in like a parking garage? So I'm not thinking nothing of it. I'm like, okay, you're in a parking garage, but where are you at? Like, where are you at? So I'm looking and I show Star and Star's like, bro, that's your parking garage. That's Townhouse's parking garage. I was damn. It's like, what? She was like, I thought you said he was gonna be in Philly. I was like, he was supposed to be in Philly. Like, I don't know what happened. So she was like, are you gonna say something? So I was like, I'm about to message him right fast. So I responded to it and I'm like, oh, you didn't go to Philly? And he was like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. He was like, I don't think, we just decided that we wasn't gonna go because my man told me that it was a party out here in Townhouses. He was like, oh, you ain't know about the party? And I was like, oh, I'm not sure if it's the same one because, like I said, Townhouses was big. Everybody could be, a lot of people could have parties. You could leave one party, go to another house, have a party over there, kick back here, whatever. It was always something to do. But I don't want to say Michael and his roommate was known, but they was kind of known. Like, they had a nice little following. And if you have a friend has a roommate, y'all know college kids, you just all kind of migrate to one place. So he was like, yeah, I'm sitting here like, oh my God, I hope it's not the same party. So I'm looking and she was like, nah, Ayanna, like, that's like the entrance of like where he's look like he's walking out of, like that's right there. So I'm like, oh my God. So now I'm like panicking, but I'm not panicking because I'm just like, all right, we just gonna cross the bridge when we get there. So she's like, okay, cool. At this point, Clingy comes over with her boyfriend. I had already known him or whatever. So we start talking, we all vibing and stuff. And now we all leave out for the party. Now, when I say we all, it was only me, Clingy, her boyfriend, Star, Kelly, and Tina, y'all. Tina didn't come. Like, not Tina. I keep calling that girl Tina. Blondie. Not Tina. Blondie, I don't even think she came with us. I think she was supposed to, but then she ended up not going out with her other friends or something because she wasn't with us. So it was just me, Clingy, her boyfriend, Kelly, and Star. That's it. My roommates didn't even go. They was just staying inside because they had their own friends over, but they was all just chilling in the kitchen, just whatever. They didn't feel like going. So I'm like, okay, cool. And we leave out. We make our way over to the party. Walking to the party. It's packed. It's crowded. It's music. Everybody's having a time. I walk in. I'm looking around, scoping the scenery out. Y'all, Blue standing there getting a dance from some girl. Like, she's throwing it back. Like, they was really dancing. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's what we on. But y'all, it was a party. Some people be like, oh, nah, you tripping. Like, I would have said something. I didn't care because I knew that he didn't know whose house this was because he wouldn't be here. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, I know whose house this is. So I'ma just play the scene. Like, he looked up at me, made eye contact, and then he kind of tried to like get away, and I was just like, don't even worry about it. So he tried to say something to me in a party, and I just ignored him. I was just like, nah, you good, you know, do your thing. So I was like, he tried to like grab my arm, and I looked at him and I'm like, do you want me to grab your arm? Y'all, in the party, y'all, with the sling, y'all, in the fucking party. So I'm like, okay, you do you. So Clingy she was like, oh, I'm gonna stay over here, because she ran into somebody that she knew. So she's talking to the boyfriend, talking to them with her boyfriend and stuff. Me and Kelly and Star, we making our way, you know, through the party. And she links up with roommate, because like I said, that's his apartment. We link up with roommate. So he was like, oh, come here. So he sees me and Kelly. So he's like, come over. So y'all, remember I told y'all how my apartments were set up the same way. You got the full living room. They moved everything out the way to make it a lot of space. And you have a little hallway. You had a closet. Was that a closet? Yeah, you had a closet right here, and then you had the kitchen, and then right before you got to the kitchen and the closet, you had the stairwell. Remember I told y'all the staircase with a landing, and you had another little set of stairs with a landing, two apartments, 2 bedrooms, bathroom, same thing upstairs. So he's ushering, you know, Star over. So he's like, okay, you know, come up here. So we start walking up the stairs on the first landing, and right there is Michael's like one of their mutual friends. I know him too. We went to school together. Well, we didn't really go to school together, but let's just say I've known him prior to me going to college. Clingy knew him too, because we kind of all, whatever. So I knew him previously. Now, you had Michael there, their mutual friend, Michael's roommate, and some other boy. It was like 4 of them and some other boy. And then it was just us 3. And we was just talking to them, you know, Star and roommate flirting. You know, we just talking because we wasn't trying to do too much. I wasn't even trying to really talk to Michael like that. But, you know, we was talking. You know, he's saying his little, you know, y'all know niggas. So he's saying his little one too. I'm like, whatever. Y'all, next thing you know, we just vibing. Kelly, we all talking. Like, I want to say like maybe 15 minutes goes by or so. 20 minutes or so goes by. And next thing you know, I see Blue coming up the stairs like, excuse me, pushing people out the way, and comes upstairs, like comes up to the landing, and he just looks at me, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. So he's looking, he comes upstairs and he looks at Michael, and he's just like, oh, this what you doing? Just what you doing? Let's go. And tries to literally pull me, like, and I'm like, get off of me, like, you're doing too much. So Kelly was like, okay, that's enough, like, da-da-da-da, like, no, we're not doing that, like, look at your arm, like, you doing too much. And then I'm saying her, like, you right here and you by yourself, like, come on, like, let's not. So trying to pull me, I'm like, no, I'm not, like, I'm not going. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, how the hell did you even know where I was at, or where, like, because, like, the way he was walking up with the purpose was like, you knew where I was at. So I'm, like, looking at Michael, looking at them, and like, y'all, again, embarrassed, because like, why are you doing all of this? And then like got past Kelly and like got his arm like around my neck, like not yoking me up, y'all, but you know, gripping me in. So I'm just like, okay, you're doing too much. So I separate from him, push him off, and I start making my way downstairs, and I move my way through the party. At this point, people, I guess Michael and them had just decided to end the party, because I don't want to say they ended it because of him. I think it was just more so like the vibe was blown, and I don't know if REs had came or something, but ironically enough, the party was letting out at the same time. So it's not like I could have just left the party and everybody was still inside. The party was letting out, so people were coming out. I get out of the apartment, and it's a little mini courtyard before, like I said, I could get to my apartment. Like, I could see it. Like, I was like getting out the door. I done left Kelly, Clingy, Star. I just wanted to get out of there, y'all. So I'm walking through the courtyard. Kelly and Star, you know, catch up to me. Clingy, I don't even know where she was. Like, I don't know where she was. I don't even know if she knew what happened, whatever. So I'm making my way down the courtyard or whatever. Like I said, them two catch up to me, and all I hear is,
I love you. Why you treating me like this? Why you doing all of this? Like, I care about you.
And then I guess his friends was trying to calm him down, and they're like, relax, you doing too much. And he's like,
no, I care about her. And you in there with this nigga, you at his party?
And I'm just like, y'all, if I was light skinned, you would be able to see the redness on my face, how embarrassed I was. So embarrassed. And he's drunk with a cast. Like, did you not learn your lesson? Did you not learn? So, yo, I was like, okay, this is too much. So I finally get to my apartment. We get inside, lock the door, close the door up. Yeah, Clingy wasn't with us. It was just us three. I make my way all the way upstairs, and they upstairs. Like, I don't even know if I was crying. I was just telling them, like, yo, I'm so embarrassed. Like, my whole vibe and mood is blown. Like, what the hell even was that? Next thing you know, I hear yelling from downstairs, and I'm like, what the hell? So we start coming downstairs, and you see my roommates. Do they need names? They don't really need names because it was only two of them there at the time, because the other one, she had left for the weekend with her boyfriend. So it was the two of them that were sisters. So I don't got to get them names, y'all, because I don't feel like confusing y'all this late into the story. So my two roommates, I guess, had opened the door and was like, what do you want? He was like, let me in. Like, I want to talk to Ayanna. I want to talk to Ayanna. They're like, she don't want to talk to you. She don't want to talk to you. You need to go ahead. Like, you need to go ahead. So he was like, no, like, come on. So the friend, she was like, she cracked the door open, and he's trying to push his way into the door. So both of them are like holding the door back. So we come downstairs, we're holding the door. So then I guess his friends was like, come on, bro, like, come on, like, you doing too much, like, let's go. So they finally walk off, and she was like, yeah, get him away from my door, it's gonna be a problem. So he leaves or whatever. Let me see what time it is. Y'all, I'm supposed to be meeting my friend for brunch, and it's 10:30. I think I should be able to get to her by like 11:15, 11:30. I'm making good timing. So banging on the door, like I said, they drag him away, pull him away, whatever. They leave. So my roommates is like, what happened? So I'm giving them the whole rundown, y'all. I'm sober. Like, I was irritated. Like, I was shaking. So they're like, what happened? So I'm telling them, and they're like, why do he be doing all of that? Like, he need to stop drinking. Like, he's like, what happened to his arm? So I'm giving them the whole rundown about the arm. And they're just like, yeah, like, he be doing too much. Y'all, he leaves. You know, I want to say maybe like a half hour goes by, and then Michael literally texted me if I was okay. Like, you cool? I was like, yeah. He was like, you know, if y'all don't want to come over, you know, y'all don't have to. And started looking at me. I was like, you still want to go? She was like, yeah. So it was like, okay, we're gonna go. So, you know, Clingy had left and went back to her apartment with her boyfriend, right? So we had what you call it? Kelly left and went back to her apartment. Boom. Clingy Ben had left, I guess, after the party. She didn't know what was going on. That's what she says. And then she went back and did her own thing. So me and Star left, and we went over there. So as we chilling over there, whatever, we smoking. They just like, what happened? Like, that's crazy. So, you know, we all laughing, talking, whatever. And then I look on Snapchat, this nigga went to Philly. So y'all went to that damn party anyway. You should have just went in the first place. Like, you just came here and ruined my whole night. Like, my whole night. So fast forward, you know, and y'all, we get to the end. Fast forward, me and Star, we go back to my apartment, wake up the next morning. So, you know, I'm trying to rehash everything out, you know, clear mind, rehash everything out. This nigga blew my phone up. I was just ignoring him, y'all. I don't think I had talked to him for like 5 days, like no communication. He didn't come to my apartment, and then me and Star had ended up running into him at the student center, which is a story for another time. But yeah, after this, so during this time, I just wasn't talking to him. So I reach out to Clingy, you know, this is like, was this Sunday at this point? It was like Sunday. And I'm like, girl, like, what happened? Like, do you know, did you see him coming up the stairs? And she was like,
well, I mean, he came over to me and he asked me, you know, where you were. So I told him you went upstairs.
I'm tired of everybody, son. Y'all all trying to play me.
you did what? And now y'all see what I mean when I say the girls trip, how she went and out of her way to reach out to Drake to tell him my business. Why would you tell? And the thing is, y'all, and as I think about it, it makes me mad every single time I tell it, because I was just telling Kelly the other day, I'm like, it's going to make me mad even telling the story when I get to this part. Just for the simple fact that you knew whose house it was. When she was still on campus, fall semester, and I was coming out there, I was staying with her, I was staying with Blondie, I would stay with Star, like I would rotate, I would chill with all of y'all. Y'all all knew who Blue was, and we all were cool our freshman year. So you been knew who Michael was. We've been to parties at Michael's before. Why would you tell Blue, who clearly did not know whose party it was, you know how Blue is, and you would tell him that I'm upstairs? You op. And no wonder you went and disappeared. You didn't know what happened. And you just made your way back to the apartment, and then now you sitting here telling me like, well, I didn't think there was nothing wrong with that. That's your nigga, ain't it? He asked me where you was at. Comment down below and tell me didn't she deserve to get? Y'all, that shit pissed me off so bad. So I'm telling Star, and y'all, I didn't start distancing myself from her, but she low-key started distancing herself. And then, like I said, I'll tell y'all the story later another time about how me and her actually fell out in school, and how fast forward we didn't talk, and then we started talking before the girls trip, and then we fell out again after that. When she was saying that in the last story time about like, oh, you always switch up for your friends, that story is to come. But yeah, y'all, that's what happened. Like I said, I didn't talk to Blue for the rest of the week. I kind of distanced myself. We distanced ourselves from each other, me and Clingy. And yeah, that was the end of that. But yeah, y'all, I appreciate y'all for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed this story time. I don't know exactly which one I'm gonna do next. Like, I've been, you know, coming up with a lot of ideas and stuff about some story times, and people been reminding me of things. So yeah. But anyway, y'all, I hope y'all loved it. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Comment down below. Tell me what y'all thoughts. And remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, repost. And I will see y'all in my next video. Peace.
Hi.